Hello everybody, how you doing? Firstly, if you could like and subscribe to my channel, that'd be so kind of you. I'm trying to get my channel up. I'm trying to speak to you good people out there. I'm trying to have more interactions with you lot out there. I was told YouTube's a friendly neighborhood. Now I've joined the neighborhood. I'm not a new neighbor like, hi, I've just moved in over here. I don't have many friends. You don't want to be my friend, you can like and subscribe and hit the notification button. That'd be so kind of you. I've been doing this now for about 7 months. I've probably created about 100 and something videos. I'm now starting to get a bit of traction now, but it'd be nice if we could all come together, because I like to speak to you a lot as well. I'm not the type of person that only wants to speak to stars. I want to speak to people as well who are watching this channel and subscribe. So I'm that type of person. With that being said, Andrew Tate. Now I'm going to be honest. This video is just me reviewing what's been happening with Andrew Tate and what's my thoughts on it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do this video, then I'm going to do another video talking about Andrew Tate's kickboxing career and how he fares against Jake Paul and Logan Paul. But this video here is literally just about Andrew Tate and what he's been saying and his thoughts and what I think and my views on it, because I have started watching this guy, what he's been saying. So let me tell you my story. I didn't know who Andrew Tate was 2 weeks ago. I didn't know who this guy was. I'm someone who's sitting in the nether realm, in the shadow realm, just doing my thing, making videos. I cover mixed martial arts, preferably UFC, boxing, WWE and AEW, and anything else that happens, any other big boxing events or anything that happens. So that's what I cover. So I don't really see people going viral and people talking. I don't really see that. So obviously I have Snapchat, I have social media. I'm starting to see this thing about this Andrew Tate guy. So my thoughts on Andrew Tate, I'm seeing a lot of videos coming up where you see short clips. You see short clips of things he's saying, and a lot of the things he's saying are slightly outrageous. I don't agree to some of the things I'm seeing. And let me just clarify on the short clip. So if you see things on short clips, I'm not gonna. It's the worst things you're hearing. You're seeing the end of the conversation. Now, what my issue with that is we're not seeing the beginning of the conversations. We're not seeing both half of what leads to him saying that. So I think that needs to be I need to put it out there as well. So I just did some background check on Andrew Tate. I believe he's born in Luton, or he used to live in Luton. So Luton's not too far from me. It's like an hour and a bit from me. So he's born in Luton. I know he he used to run a direct cam company as well. He's doing courses as well for people to help uplift themselves, and he wanted them to post videos of himself on their channels to get of him to promote the company, something like that. So I've listened to a lot of things he's been saying now. The reason why I'm making this video, because I watched a 4-hour podcast with him on, I think the channel's called TBD, something like that. I'm not too sure, but I was watching that. Value Entertainment. I was watching that. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. So this is why I'm doing this video, because I watched that for 4 hours and I was like, hey, this guy seemed to be the most viral guy on the internet. So let me just chime in as well. Let me tell you my thoughts. My thoughts is not probably going to be the same as everyone else. I'm not coming on here to bash him. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. So now let me get this straight. I have not seen all his videos on. I haven't seen everything he's put. I haven't seen everything he said. I've only seen certain bits and certain clips. The certain clips I've seen are not good. Like what you're saying there is not good. But I haven't seen what was said before that. Now I must reiterate, if you're just taking a clip of a video and we're not seeing what's before that, it doesn't give us the full picture. So it's really best to get the full picture before we sort of make a comment. With that being said, I did watch the 4-hour podcast, and to be honest, things that he was saying made sense. They seemed to be quite logical. He's playing a male gender role. He's up for protecting women, protecting people. And it seemed, I didn't really see anything that was alarming. We have to understand that this guy is not a criminal. Like, he's not been charged with anything. He's not been incarcerated, so he's not a criminal. This guy's not a criminal. So if he was a criminal, this would be a total different thing. But he's not a criminal. He's not been charged with anything. Some of the things so if we go back a little bit to look at his psychology, the way he thinks, on the podcast, he's saying his influence has derived from his father. His father was a big influence on him. His ideology, the way he is ideological. So I did good out there. The way he thinks is derived from things that's been put in place from his father. And what to me, I'm on the outside looking in. I've never met Andrew Tate. I don't know who he is. He's born in Luton, which is quite near me, but I've never met him. I never even knew him who he was 2 weeks ago. I only know just recently. For what I'm seeing on the outside looking in, he's taken the ideas and the philosophies and the psychology from his father that's given to him. He's taken that, he's turned it up a little bit to 100, and he's added his spice on it and elevated it and then put it out to you lot, which is why he's gone viral. But when you listen to the 4 Hour podcast, he does explain everything. So the host is now giving him different quotes he's been saying. He quotes this, quotes that, quotes that, and he gets Tate to explain every single part of what's being said. And he explains it perfectly. He explains it fine. Everything makes sense. It's all logical. I have no issues to what he's saying when the quotes have been put in front of him, and then he unravels the quote. I think what the issue is that, as I said before, we only seen a snippet of what he's said, and it's the bad part. We've seen the result of the question that's been asked, but we've not seen what's led up to that result. That's the thing, is what I'm seeing. So, but he seemed like a normal guy. Doesn't seem crazy or normal. He seemed like a normal guy to me. He explained the kind of people he like to hang around with, which I would say does sort of doesn't make me any the same, but it sort of says to who I am. He doesn't like to hang around with thirsty people. I'm not thirsty. People who are trustworthy, that's definitely me. People who have got their things together, that's me. People who are like working towards making money. I'm working towards a better life for me and myself and my family. So that's what I'd say on that for sure. Also, what I would say was looking at those points, but I think what it is when I unpacked it, I sat down and I listened to it. I listened to him, and I see what's happened. So what he's saying is, what you need to understand is this: he's saying things that are bad, not that sound bad, but if he was to put it in a different way, it would sound okay. And I think he knows that. I think he's giving what he's saying is giving it to you lot in an unfiltered alpha manner, which sounds really bad. But if he was to say it in a different manner, a filtered alpha manner, it would sound okay. But it's like I'm feeding you the food that's not cooked instead of the cooked food. He's just feeding you lot that. Now, I'm going to be honest, I have looked up some of these videos. I've looked at his mannerisms, I've looked at how he speaks. When you lift up the bonnet, this is just my thoughts. I've lifted up the bonnet and looked at what he's producing, what he's bringing to us. Personally, what I think he's doing, he is trying to go viral. So everything he says is I'm just being honest, everything he says is to go viral. This is what he wants. He wants to get this reaction from everybody in the world. If you want to go viral, controversy sells. Controversy creates cash. If you want to go viral, you need to say some outlandish, crazy stuff that will get you viral. And that's what he's doing. So if you unpack it, that's what he's doing. And then, so he's saying viral stuff. And what he's done it smartly. He's saying his thing, and he's got his subscribers up to about 5,000, 10,000. And then I haven't seen his videos. I don't know. He might have started off a bit softly, but a bit raw. Then he probably got to a certain amount of subscribers. Then he started to be hard and just saying all types of crazy stuff. So what's happened is the people, his subscribers, are finding it comedic. They're saying, oh, yeah, I believe him. Or they find it outrageous. And they're saying, hey, have you seen this guy called Andrew Tate? He's saying this crazy stuff. And then they'll forward it on to their friends. And it spreads like wildfire after that, because people are finding it comedic, funny, outrageous. One of the couple many reasons, and then they forward it onto our friends. Then he blows up and goes viral. And then obviously when he gets to the top level, where top podcasts want to interview him with millions of followers, that's when he's on his main stage. That's when he's the most viral. So then he gets the more followers and everything. So that's basically what's happened. He could say everything he's saying, he could say in a totally different way, which would be fine. But he's chose to say it in a viral way. in a way that's gonna cause issues. So that's my take on him. Like I said, he's not a criminal. He's not been arrested in anything. I know his house was searched recently and they found nothing. So he's not a criminal. I just think what he needs to do. I think the issue here. Now here's the issue. So that's what he's done to get famous. The issue here, I believe, is he needs to be more respectful. You can be viral and you can be say your part, but you need to be respectful. You do need to be respectful to women. Women, there's like, is it 50% of the 50% of humanity is female, or over? It's more or less 50%. You can't say things, because there was that story, I saw a part of the story where he went to a restaurant to order a steak, and he said to the woman, the lady, please, I want a steak. I want the most expensive steak in here. And the woman goes, okay. She gives him a option, and he goes, just give me the most expensive steak in here. And then he quotes the woman he calls her a name, and I'm like, well, I don't know if he called her to name to her face, but he said the name after what he said. The problem with that is you can't say that, because you're offending half of our nation. Women are as important as men, if not more. Without women, there's no civilization. There's nothing. You know what I mean? They're the creator. We have to be respectful to our women. But I just think what he needs to do, Andrew Tate needs to do, and he makes some good points as well. He makes some good points. I'm not here to slating the guy. I'm just saying what I see. I think he just needs to feed it to us in a better manner, not being a certain way towards certain genders or certain people. Just feed it to us in a more digestible manner than a raw manner with insults and stuff like that. You're gonna offend someone, and the thing is, it has the issue of really, you go viral, saying viral things. He hits his peak, and then the legs are cut out from him because people are not liking what he's saying. So I think he just needs to. Whether they bring him back on the platforms, I don't know. But if he was to come back, he just needs to be more mindful of what you're saying. I know you want to go viral, brother. Top G, yeah, that's all good. I know he's doing his thing. He's got millions, he's got houses, everything. And he's doing his thing, fine. But you just need to be more mindful, because half of our nation is women. Half of everything's women. You've got to be mindful and respectful to the opposite sex and what you say. Especially with that one in the restaurant. The lady's just doing her job, to be honest. You can't call her that name. She's just doing her job. She probably gets minimum wage. She's just there serving in the restaurant. And what she says to him is something she's been taught to work. That's how she's been taught to say. That's the same thing she says to everybody who probably comes in and says, give me the most expensive thing. She'll say, okay, do you want rabbi? Do you want it half? Do you want this? Do you want that? Like, how do you want it? So that's all you have to be mindful. She's just doing her job. She doesn't want to lose her job. So she's trying to give you the best option as possible. So that's my take on him. But I do think some of these things has been blown out of proportion. But it's on him as well to present it in a better way, to package it in a better way than how he's been packaging it. He's just been telling you like the raw product. He's talking to you like he's talking to his friends or his brother in his house. You can't really talk, because a lot of people do it in our houses. We talk differently about people or whatever. He's talking like that, but on camera. And I don't think you can do that. You need to be more respectable, more conscious of what you say. It can hurt people's feelings, which is why now what's happened now. But overall, he doesn't, as I said, I listened to the 4-hour podcast. He seems like a good guy. It does seem like he seems logical. But some of the things he's saying are outlandish when you cut it down without seeing the full story. When you see the full story, if you got, I especially like to go and watch the podcast that I watched, because it seemed like this makes him look like a normal guy. I don't know him other than 2 weeks on this podcast and a little bit of things I've seen. I could be talking out of context. I haven't seen all his videos. I haven't seen everything he's done. I don't know. I'm just talking on this 4-hour podcast I've seen and little snippets of him on Snapchat and things like that. So. But that's my take on it. Like I said, I do not agree with everything he says. But if you listen to the whole thing, he explains it, which then it makes sense. He's an alpha male gender role. I see myself as an alpha as well. But there's alphas who are filtered and alphas who are not filtered. So if you don't care and you've got as much money he wants, that's how you're gonna talk. But if you care, probably not as much money he has, you're going to be more filtered. But I think you're going to be filtered anyway, even if most people in the world are going to be filtered, even if they've got more or as much money as he has. But he just wanted to come to prominence by saying what he wants with no filter. But I think the bottom line is this. The bottom line is we live in society with multiple different people, races, ethnicities, genders. We just all need to be respectful to each other and be peaceful and mind what you say. It can offend people. And if you're going to say something, there's ways of saying things without being disrespectful. So I just think, just mind out what you say without being disrespectful. There's ways of being a top G alpha without being disrespectful. I don't want to see anyone get banned off their platform. So, but yeah, that's me. That's my 2 cents. Was there anything else I wanted to cover on it? I think that was it. Leave some comments in the bottom. Like if you want me to do another video, I don't mind doing some comments on it, doing another video on that. But this is just my take on it. I've only watched the 4-hour podcast. I haven't watched anything else. I haven't seen little snippets of it. I've only seen a few little snippets where some of the things he's saying was really bad. But then when you look at everything all together, he does explain everything within his 4-hour podcast. Most of the things anyway. Some of the other things, I've only mentioned some of the things I've seen on the podcast. There might be other things he said that I probably wouldn't agree with or condone, but I'm only quoting and commenting on what I know. Okay, so if you like this video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and then yeah, take care.